Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore. I tried to wait to start this because the geese are having, I don't know if you can hear them, but they are out here having an argument. But we're going to get started anyways. I think they're done now. So thank you. My name is Lenore. We're going to do your tea leaves. We might do a little tarot. We're going to see what's going on. Okay, let's go ahead. It's a beautiful day here. It's been kind of cold. Now I get to sit outside today a little bit. The first thing that I'm seeing, it looks like it says far, F-A-R. Looking right in here, we have E-R. E-R-E. Maybe a G? I don't know. Is that a word? E-R-E-G. I don't know. Oh, do we have an N in here? I almost wonder if it's green. It feels like it could be a green. There has been this real pull towards the color green in my mind's eye lately. And of course, it has to do with the season and things are blooming. But there's just something. And so we have far green. Green, far green. But we have this real feeling of like a rich emerald, kind of dreamy, almost kind of like lovely and intoxicating. You can think of the absinthe fairy kind of boozy kind of energy, but not on it. It's not literal, right? I don't think that this is really an energy of oh, you are entering your, partying era. Now, if you are, hey, you know what I mean? Get your bacchanalian on. But this isn't that. It feels almost kind of like the inhibition necessary to kind of let go of some of the tight grasp you've had on something in your life. Almost like that moment you catch yourself your jaw's clenched, your chest is tight, your hands are sweaty, and you're just like, man, why can't we all just get on the same page? Why can't we just, you're at work, you're trying to get people to do what they're supposed to do and know what you're supposed to, just all the things. And it's like everything's working against you the tighter you try to grasp it, right? The more we're raising our voices, the more we're, trying to micromanage, the more involved we get. Even though when we have that instinct, that moment where it's like, I don't think that I really need that. You know what this looks like to me now? Eris. Actually, and it's funny. I was pulling a card, just to kind of get a little bit of a preview for myself. What's the energy? It was the Devil card. So Eris is the goddess of chaos. And so we have this green energy. We also have a feeling of things really getting shaken up. Okay. Hail Eris. I will have to say that. If you are interested in kind of it's kind of more of I would say, on the humorous side, kind of like the Merry Pranksters or the Church of the Subhuman, Discordianism, right? Go check it out. Go look at it. Go peep game. And so we have far green, we have Eris, we have the chaos, we have the green, the abundance, life flowing in, but there's the ease of control that needs to happen so that there's some amount of natural flow. You know what I mean? It's like we're attracted to what seems authentic, what seems, you know, true and honest and flowing. I don't mean I don't know about. Ooh, I just touched the mic. I always forget. I'm forgetting there's a mic on me. Um, there there is something about, well, you can see it in all parts of our life, right? Where even, in the 90s, right? If a band or a pop star got caught lip syncing, people were very offended by that. That was like a big deal. Bro, that was going on all the time. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, uh, when there's just a slip and it gets into the uncanny, where we are, it halted usually, but sometimes even repelled. You start to see what something is and you're like, oh, you know. So sometimes we need that little bit of, yeah, letting go of trying to keep together a image, an aesthetic. Everything has to go flow and get to. You will never learn this more abruptly than when you have kids, right? When you have a beautiful home that you want to decorate and you want things to be matching and clean and tidied and everything has its home. Of course, there are people who are superstars or they have help or whatever to keep their houses like that while they have kids. But for the rest of us, man, you quickly learn like that perfecto home that you wanted to have at all times and was easier to maintain probably when you didn't have children, right? Almost becomes impossible. And it's not that you give up and you just let your house go to heck, but you readjust, right? You have to let go of the grip you have on wanting your life to look a certain way, because guess what, kids are unpredictable. You can plan and perfect to the moon and back, and if you do one thing, you pack them the perfect lunch or whatever, one thing might send them into a tizzy. They might not want any of it. Maybe they're not going to eat one scrap of that thing. And that's life. You know what I'm saying? That's life. That's just what it is to be a parent. So, in my estimation here, there is some some kind of relief, some kind of medicine in your life. And when I say medicine, I mean something that is healing for you, something that is helping you find uh, your nervous system reset, helping you get things feeling in balance, not, anxiety off the charts or this constant up and down, or, just the things that keep us very locked in to our bodies, into our emotions, become very distractive, can get us off course. So I think that, this is a really, oh, it's a good time for you to be really like leaning into the loves of your life, right? And I'm not talking about, a romantic thing so much as I feel that there is a sense of, kind of shaking things up a little bit, but like, I feel like you're returning to some of the stuff that you used to love. That's what it feels like. It feels like this kind of, not a full, like, huge rebirth, kind of rite of passage. Although I feel like this has happened not very long ago. I feel like you are probably into the new chapter of your life, but now you are getting into that place where like you feel strong and confident in yourself, and you're starting to go back and maybe allow yourself to do some of those things that you dreamed about doing. The stuff that really like interested you. We all have things. I know for me, it's a lot of art stuff, a lot of creating, writing. As I've gotten older, I feel like I have started to feel more comfortable like unmasking and just being kind of a like a free association, kind of free flowing thinking, saying what I'm thinking kind of person, you know and and I think a lot of that has had to happen because I did also go through a rebirth phase. Also, I just hit it, I'm in my 40s now. And I'm not saying it's Perry, but it might be. I mean, I hope so, right? Kind of that. But, I think that a lot of us as well, I think I've noticed a little bit, a lot of us are reassessing what is even important to us, you know. And I think that for you, I'm looking at this, it looks like we have one, two, three, maybe a fourth person up here. And then up here, it almost kind of looks to me almost like, I want to say like we have a person that looks like they're almost like surfing or skateboarding or whatever. We have people down here, and it feels like some kind of socializing, but it also feels like there's some kind of skill set involved, some kind of maybe it's a sport, maybe it's a game that you play, maybe it's a well, like I said, you're returning back to some of the stuff you used to love. Maybe, you're joining a band, you're getting in there, you're doing your second half of life garage band. I mean, come on. We need it. We need more people getting out there and starting like lo-fi bands. Like, remember when that was like everybody? Now, I don't know. I feel like we have we've been adulting long enough, right? Let's get back to it. But it could be something like that. Maybe you're just going back to concerts. That's more my speed. Like easing back into going to shows, but whatever it is, I feel like it's something where there's more community. There seems to be like a lot of noise. I'm imagining like cheering and excitement and, just those moments of like looking around and being like, I feel very lucky to be alive right now. And I think a lot of us, we need as many of those little moments as possible. The burden of the world has been heavy lately. Um, Even if you are tuned out of a lot of that stuff, it's just, um, it's impossible to escape the oppressive energy, I think, um, as it flows through all things, right? But we, I believe, can combat that by being active in our love and our passion and our families and our friends and our connections to the universe. And if that's woo woo or not, if you, whatever it is, however that manifests for you in its many ways, I think that that's really kind of our own little revolution. And I'm hearing people on boats out on a lake far off, many miles away. I can kind of hear the it's people are where I live. As soon as it's 60 degrees, man, people are out on their boats. That's for sure. um, so I feel like it's almost like we have to do the dang thing. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe I'm just a little skewed in my own, my own idea of what is going to heal us as a collective and us individually. But I feel like expression is, in its many forms, is um, one of the ultimate philosopher's stones, right? The act of creating sublimation, taking an idea and manifesting it into reality. We take for granted the fact that we can do that. We want this like idea of like, ooh, poof, and then like something appears in your hand, and maybe somebody can do that. I don't know. I'm not gangsta like that, dude. I ain't got it like that, baby. At least not yet. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But what we can do is retrieve fragments from the abyss, right? The unconscious, and we can combine them into something, a concept, right? We can create some kind of form, and then, my goodness, we figure out how to pull that from our head and make it into something, you know? If you're building a chair, or if you are, redoing your landscaping, if you are cooking, if you are whatever it is, um, we're all magicians. We're all magicians. We're all architects. We're all widows. We are all the grandmother and grandfather and all the things, right? The creators, the keepers of the matrix, the web. And so, I think that you are kindred in this way. I feel that you are letting go of some of the stuff that has kept you from maybe being what you would consider a creative person, you know. Um, I feel like there's a sense of like I said, just excitement, jovial, like a jovial celebration. The other thing I feel is that there is kind of a growing intensity in love for you. Um, I want to say it's like a new wonderful love, but I don't think it's new. But look at this. It's like almost like we have a pot right here with a little plant growing out. Over here we have one that looks like it's starting to suffer a little bit. This one looks like a little pot with it hanging over as well. And I almost kind of feel, and we have the rabbit. Ooh, I feel like you're picking between things in your life. Now, it might be that you have like multiple suitors, or people you're talking to, or I don't maybe it's friends, and you're being pulled in different directions, or I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like you almost are in a place where it becomes so much that you kind of feel paralyzed in it, and you don't really know which to prioritize, and they're all kind of suffering because of it. So I do feel like for you, this is a time where there will be some kind of need to kind of maybe reduce some of where you're putting your energies, or kind of making a clear choice. Now, it also looks like we have a person standing here with their arm out, and it looks like a little, maybe like a little bird on their shoulder there. And the other thing it looks like is we have a frog right here. The little legs and the body, and then the rabbit. And sitting here, it looks like a pot too. It looks like the frog is jumping out of the pot. I almost kind of feel like you're in this, like, realizing that you have all these, like, things going on, these people pulling you this way, that way. It's almost kind of maybe intentional. I feel like it's like that, that feeling of the water's getting hotter. The frogs in there swimming around doesn't realize it's, going to be in danger soon. But then, something feels a little off, and you go hopping right out of the pot, right? You save yourself. So I do feel like it's almost kind of like a fairy godmother. That's what this feels like. Sending you a message that, like, it's going to get bad, but not in such a way that, like, it's some huge one event where you're very acutely aware, like, this is the thing. It's kind of like over time it gets bad, and it's like you don't even fully notice how bad, right? So I do. I feel like this is a time where, because you are kind of, like we talked about, with that green kind of fresh, emeraldy, letting go of the control of micromanaging all the little things, in your letting go of some of that, it frees up your computing power, right? Your within your, your thinking, your ability to take all of those details, take all that information, and make good decisions, right? Figure it all out. Well, when you're stressed, we're just not on point. When we're falling out constantly, or crashing out, or feeling overwhelmed, or highly reactive, emotional, worn out, maybe despondent, whatever it is, babe, we're not thinking the best that we can, right? I know I'm not. Uh, so I do feel like, as you're easing away from that tight grip, right, you're able to kind of see. These are kind of some of my options here. And I think that you will make a decision that's going to really save your, what, right? And so the last thing we have over here, we have the F. Okay. We have the F. Loud. We have the dog, spicy. You have somebody who you're close to who has feelings for you. I think it's somebody, I mean, they're like attracted to you. It's a close friend though, and I think that probably but you just ignore it, honestly. Um, or you just, like, I don't know. We've all had that feeling, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, I see how this has changed, you know? So I don't know. I'm going to pull one card. I'm not going to get up in your business like that, but, ooh, the beloved. Babe, you might want to consider. This. This is the beloved card. This is the beloved. This is like the idea. Well, anyways, in my symbolic relationship to this card, it is. It is the manifestation in your life of that emotional, psychic other, right? And so I do feel like it's at least worth considering. Maybe it's something that you want as well, and you just haven't really known how to get there or whatever. But I think that, yeah, definitely, there is a pairing there. Now, that being said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a companion. I don't know about you, but I'm getting to that age where I understand a companion, almost way more than I understand a romantic, like what a romantic partner would be. Like, if I had to go back out dating and all of that, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't. Well, and you all know I'm married and stuff anyways, but uh I don't I can understand like a chill companion though. Just somebody to kick it with. A good friend, you know? So I don't know. Maybe that's it. You have your BFF. You know. But I don't know. I feel like they like you. That's just is what it is. What it is. So, anyways, I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Um, you know, life is busy. I just got over the stomach flu, and then my daughter had the stomach flu, and oh, I don't know. Haven't been feeling. I feel very inspired. Sometimes I really go through, and I know I've said it before. I probably say every reading, honestly. I don't know, but I just sometimes like struggle with feeling like I have anything to say that like anybody should hear. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We're just here to kind of kick it and get through some of these feelings and look at these symbols, these, clusters of information, and, see what we can pull from that. I don't know. That's why I'm here. I don't know how well I'm doing it though. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk soon. Bye.